Okay, so I'll try to introduce myself first, and then we can go ahead with your introduction. So I'm Surbhi, and I have been working as a data engineer from 7 years. I've had the experiences of both service-based and product-based companies, and I am well versed with technologies in Azure, in AWS. I've dealt with data engineering stuff like ETL, transformations, delta tables, etc. In my companies that I've worked for. So yeah, today we will be having your first round of interviews, which will involve a little bit of SQL, Python, and some PySpark questions. So yeah, we can now have a little bit of your introduction as well.
My name is 𝐻𝐵. I've been working in data domain for the past 5 years. First, initial years were in data science. Then I slowly transitioned to data engineering because I found that this is more interesting. The kind of tech stacks that I have previously worked with and working now is Python, NumPy, Pandas, and specific to data engineering, Scala, Spark, Hadoop. The project that right now I'm working on, it is a streaming project. So basically, there is some amount of data that we have. Uh, it is kind of enterprise data that we get. Um, we process it and ingest it to Hive or HBase. Then it goes to the analyst team. They work on it and get some numbers. That's about it.
Okay, wow, it's great that you are working on a streaming project because those opportunities were, very less in some previous years, but now these opportunities have increased, and it's good that you're working on the streaming data, which is really good. So you're using only edge base. You're not using any cloud technologies while doing the streaming part.
We have recently started working on that part. We are moving to cloud.
Okay,
Right
which
now it's
cloud
on-prem.
technologies? Any answers to that, or you have to
Cloudera
the final?
and AWS.
Okay, wow. Okay, great, great, great. So that's great. So today we will start with okay, let's start first with the set of SQL data structures and some PySpark related questions. And then maybe if time permits, we will also look for some streaming related questions as well. So I'm just sharing my screen, and yeah, I'll put the questions over there, and then we can try to answer it from there itself. Okay, so I think SQL is something that you would be using as a data engineer in your day-to-day work, right?
Mostly not. So I rely on, like my task is properly into coding. I develop the features. So I don't use a lot of SQL, but yeah, I know it.
Okay, okay. Not even for testing purposes, like for analysis, why is the data coming wrong? Why is it so, some data quality checks or something, don't you?
The reason why we don't use it for any testing is we rely on how the pipeline is running on a whole. There is some kind of a feedback mechanism at the end of ingesting the data. So it's mostly dependent on how the flow is and if the schema type is like if the data type has a new schema. mm, that's it. Yeah. I mean, yeah, we do use basic commands, but not like we write a lot of SQL commands. Again, we are not using SQL. We are using a Hive and HBase.
Okay, so maybe, so you're using HQL then.
Yes.
Okay, okay. No issues. You can try to attempt it in HQL also if you need. But yeah, here is the question. The question says that we have to find the 3-month rolling average of the total revenue from a purchases table that is given with the users. So the table is going to have, for example, it can have the user, and the second column could be the purchase amount. And the third column could be the date on which it is purchased, so date of purchase. Right. So, for example, you're given with these 3 columns, and every row will have some data. Now, we want to find out the 3-month rolling average of this total revenue. This amount purchased is your revenue. So you want to find out the 3-month rolling average. And a special condition that we have put here is that we do not have to include any returns. So for example, if there is a user U1 who has, returned a product. So for example, he has given minus 50 rupees, like, he returned a product. So we as a company had to give him back 50 rupees. And he did that on 2024, 12th of March. So yeah, these kind of transactions you have to avoid. So you have to remove these kind of transactions from the overall calculations that you're going to do. Only the positive numbers, which are the purchases, need to be included. And a person can have multiple entries here. Like for the date, it will be one single entry, which will be there. Like a particular combination of a user and a date will come only once in the table. Yeah.
So we are initially we are not interested in user as such, as I can see. Output the year month, 3-month rolling average of revenue sorted from earliest month to latest month. So some amount of operation will have to perform on the date of purchase.
Okay.
Also, we have to filter out any transaction which is less than 0, because then it's a negative purchase.
Yes.
So let me go ahead and just actually, the thing is, I would be more comfortable doing this in pandas, but since this is a sequel, I'll give it a try.
Yeah. I mean, if you're able to do it in pandas, that is also good. Maybe we can first, try out the panda solution in which you are more comfortable, and then try to move it to the SQL part. It is always good to have 2 or 3 approaches to a question. So yeah, if you're able to do it in pandas, good going. No issues with that.
Okay. So first of all, I'll have to create my data frame. Let's say I already have the data. It is in the form of sets, like this column we have over here. It's a list of something. Let's say user U1, U2. This amount. Yeah. Let me convert the data to the required format. So pd dot to date time. I'm modifying the date of purchase column entirely.
Okay.
Also, we are not interested in the day, so I'll trim that part out. I'm just interested in month and year, right? Year month.
Yes.
I'll use the period function over here. So basically, if you want something in years, you can use Y. If you want something in months, you will put M. If you want something in weeks, you will put W. So it is month, right? So ultimately, after this, what I will get is something like this.
Okay.
Now, what I will do is I will remove every row in which the purchase amount is less than 50.
Okay. Less than zero. You mean? Yeah.
Sorry, less than 0.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Sorted from earliest month to latest month. So we will have to sort it in ascending order. Um,
But then, yeah, it is more mostly related to the points of averages. Like if you sort the data initially, yeah, that can also help. But yeah, in the end also, this line simply means that when you're trying to find out the rolling average, because you're finding out the rolling average, you need to sort the data in a manner. Otherwise, you won't be able to calculate the rolling part. So, for example, if I'm talking about the December month rolling average, then it should include December and 1 month prior to that, which is November, and 1 month prior to that, which is October. So,
uh, yeah, so we will have to perform this summing thing after sorting it, right?
mhm. Yes, yes, of course. Yes, yes.
So I will sort it. And the column that I'm interested in is the date of purchase. Ideally, what we should have done in prod setup, you shouldn't override the existing column. Instead, we should have created a new column uh, in, and kept year, and mm.
Yeah, that is
Because ideally,
a
it's
good
not
point. Yes.
suggested to change any of your data.
Yeah, it is like we should have the raw data preserved, somewhere. It's fine. Point taken. Point taken. You can continue with the current solution.
I will group it by the purchase amount. No, I'll have to sum it over the purchase amount and yeah, right. I'll have to group it by the date of purchase. So basically,
Yeah, yeah. Group it by date of purchase. Yeah.
and then sum it over of the amount.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
This is my monthly average. So at this point of time, what we should see is um, go ahead and add some more values over here. So it's easier to explain. So two,
Okay.
user three, user four, and for every month, I'll just take her number. Like, six. 5. This is 7. So I have already removed the negative transactions.
Okay, all right.
So we are left over with these values. Now for this row, the sum will be, okay, let me have one more U1 so that it's better sense. This is 200.
Okay.
For user 2, it's 150. Since the users are different in each of these days, hence it will come out like this. In case when the user is same for both the for all of the rows, we will add it up this way. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, we'll have to take the average of the previous 3 months. So let's say if I'm interested in 2024 5, then I'll be taking up all of these 4 rows. When I'm talking about 2024 6, I'll be interested in all of these 3 rows. So that's what my
Yes.
intention is.
Yeah, it's correct. The approach is correct. Okay.
So let's do.
So right now you've just written down the sum of the purchases that were made in a particular month by all the consumers or the users.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is fine. Yeah. Till here it's good. It's going good.
So this was my monthly average.
Yeah, this is your monthly revenue.
Yes.
Right.
Now I'm interested in 3-month rolling average of revenue. So, and let's call this result. On the monthly average, now we'll have to window it over. So let's take a rolling, and window is 3, previous 3. That's how we specify it. And take a mean. That's how we take a mean. So that should give me the result. And if you're not interested in any NAs, then just do a drop NA as well. Should drop. So finally, what I'll be left out with is four. Okay, let me start with 5. Four. First month is not there. 450 by 3, that gives me 150. Then 150 plus 100 plus 250, that gives me 600. 600 by 3 is 300. I hope my calculation is accurate. Again, 100 plus 250 plus 100, that's 450. This is 150. So my result would be output the year, month, and 3 month. Yeah. So my output would be this column and this column.
Okay. Okay. So with this rolling function that you have used, it will like you need to filter out the columns, right? Or will it only give you the required columns?
It will give me all of these columns. User testers. So
Yeah. So I think okay. So if you are already getting the users in monthly average also, then that is also an issue, right?
right.
The monthly average data frame itself, we have to exclude the user, as you said initially as well, that user is of no use when we are calculating the output that is required. So
What I can do is I will create a new data frame which will only contain the purchase amount and the date of purchase somewhere over here.
okay.
So let me create a DS new. This will contain And like earlier I said, we shouldn't actually change this date of purchase column. We should have a new column altogether called, let's say, something like that.
Okay. Okay. I think we can also have the name more particular, like not _mm. I know that this is not like a keyword, but yeah, we can try to avoid altogether, which is like similar as well, but it's fine.
Year and month, I can call it.
Okay.
So, and then whatever I am doing over here, DF, instead of DF, I'll use this DF
The
new.
DF, yeah, understood. Yeah. We could have also, filtered out the rows in the DF new itself because, we are anyways, like in the same line, we could have done that as well.
Over here, right itself, this one.
Yeah, because it's
Yes.
just filtering of data, so we could have just done that there itself. Okay, and then sorting in the next step, and then finding out the monthly average, and then the rolling. Okay, okay, seems good. Seems good. Yeah. So okay. Okay. Would you like to give it a try with SQL as well?
Yeah.
Like this PySpark solution is, sorry, this Panda solution is good to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you
Yeah.
like to try it in SQL as well?
Yeah. Yeah. So initially, I will just try to remove the year month thing because that is the most important thing to me.
Okay.
I'm going. This is not the entire thing I'm writing.
Yeah. Approach
I'm
will also do, like if in SQL you can just tell us the approach, or how are you planning, which functions are you planning to use? Will you be using subqueries, or will you be using whatever it is? Yeah, you can just let us know. Yeah.
so. This is how I've converted it. Now, um I'm just going back and looking at this in order to understand it.
Okay.
I will have to create a rolling average first of all. So that will let's go ahead. Select. Uh, I'm also interested in the monthly average even before this. So um, okay, so let me just write for rolling average. I think that I can do that. Um, so over order by is basically whatever I did over here in order to group it by. rows between two preceding and current row. So this will give me the last three, including, previous 2 months and this month's sum. Let me name it something as rolling average. Then whatever my data frame name is, let's call it data, revenue data. Mhm. So this is one of the parts. Now let me name it something. And what are the things I'm selecting? I am interested in this thing, year, month, which I've already found out, comma, the rolling average. Also, there is one more thing that I will have to do. The filtering that I have done over here for purchase amount that I have to apply. So
Yeah, filtering out the negatives and summing up all the monthly
yes.
No issues. I think I understood your solution, and it's fine. I mean, the approach is good, and yeah, the approach is good, and the way you have written the pandas code is also good. And yeah, okay, no issues with the SQL part. No, it is okay. But I think I like the part where you honestly came up and said that SQL is kind of not used in your day-to-day work, and hence you're more comfortable with pandas, and you did a good job in solving it through pandas. So I think that really helped me to understand that you are able to understand the logic and you're able to understand the question as well. No issues. Then let us go away from SQL and move to uh, a Python question. So let me just put it down over here. So you can solve it in any language of your choice, whether you want to solve it in Scala, or you want to solve it in Python, or any other go-to programming language that you're more comfortable with. So the question here says that you are given an array of unsorted integers, and you have to find the largest pair sum in it. For example, if you're given this particular array, so you have to find out the largest pair sum in this, and you have to display the sum, that is 74. So if I see here, the element will be 34 and it will be 40. So we are summing up 34 and 40. We are summing up 34 and 40 to get this answer, which is 74. So you have pair sum simply means that you need to find out a pair and then the answer. And then you have to display the sum in the very end. And yeah, the array is unsorted. That is also provided in the question itself. So any language of your choice, you can just try to attempt this. And yeah.
I'll do this in Python.
Okay.
Basically, I am interested in the largest and the second largest number.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
So let me create two variables. One is largest and another is the second largest. Initially, I will just assign them with none, and later on, I will check for the first two arrays. So if the I have an array also. So also if the length of the array is less than or equal to 2, then I can just return the sum of uh, the first and the second elements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is just the beginning initialization that I'm doing. After this, it will change. If whichever is greater, assign largest to it and
Okay.
second largest to the other one. That's what I'm doing over here. So right now, I've already went through the first and the second elements. So now I will start looking for the from the third element. And the time complexity for this will be in order of n, because the worst time complexity will be like I'll find the number that I'm interested in at the end.
Okay.
2 because I've already iterated to the 0th and the first indexes. If the number at I is greater than largest, then go ahead and put uh, largest to second largest, and in largest I'll put the array of I.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. And then I will check if this array it lies somewhere between yeah, if the second largest number is somewhere between yeah, I'll just write it out easier. Okay. I will only be updating the second one, not first one anymore, because the first one is already the largest, right?
Oh, okay.
Basically, it's just checking whether there is any number that exists between the first and the second number as well. And this any number is the present array of I. That's all it's checking.
Okay.
And then at the end, you can just return the sum of. Hello, are you there?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So can
Yeah.
we quickly do a dry run of this solution? Like, let's just try to do a dry run and see if this is returning the correct value or not at the end.
Yes. So 12 and 34. So it's checking whether the
So I think this first if loop will not get executed because here the length of the array is
yes.
more than 2. So till here there would be no output. It's fine.
the-
Then you have assigned two variables. One is largest and the other one is second largest, which you have assigned be none, which is fine. Now let's move to the next if loop. Okay, here
So
you
if
can just tell
array
me
of
the driver.
array of array at 0 is greater than array of 1, false, it is 12. So it will go to the second condition. Is array at 1 greater than array at 0? Yes. So now my largest is 34 and second largest is 12. Now after that I'll
Okay.
begin my for loop, and the first
Let's
number that
put it here. Yeah. Let me just put it here. The largest is now 34 and the second largest is now 12, right?
yes.
So this is what we have been able to know in this dry run. Okay. Okay.
Now for I in range
That
2
is
to
fine.
n is length of the array.
Okay.
If
So
array at
we are taking I to be it. Okay.
yes,
Yeah. So my I is equal to 2 and then it will become 3, then it will become 4 and I think our length is 5. So it will go till 5. Or will it go till 4?
it will go only till 4.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
Then
This is fine. So
array array of I is 10. Is 10 greater than 34? No. Then largest is still array. Sorry, this goes over here like that. So neither of these conditions will be statements executed.
executed because
Now
yeah,
it will check.
because when you're saying that when I is equal to 2, yeah, because you're saying that when I is equal to 2, my array of I is equal to what? 10. So now 10 is less than 34, therefore this loop will not be executed. That is fine. Okay.
Now is array of I greater than second? Array of I is 10. No, it's not greater than second. It's less than second. So this condition will also not be executed. Again, now I is 3. Array of 3 is
This
6. Again, whatever happened in the previous index, same
previous
thing will happen
case
here as
will
well.
not.
Yes, because both of these numbers are smaller
Okay.
than the second largest and the largest.
Okay.
So last number is 40. Now we'll check for 40. Is 40 greater than largest? Yes, it is greater than largest. So we will assign second largest as 34 and largest as 40.
Okay. Here
Yes.
you are saying that when our I is equal to 4, the
Yes.
things will start coming up, right?
So second
Yeah.
largest will be
Here it is 40.
34. Yeah,
Mhm.
and largest will be 40.
Yeah.
And is array of I greater than second? No, array of I is still 40. It is not greater than second. We have already updated it. So again, this condition will also not be executed. And then at the end of the day, you will
Okay.
return largest plus second largest.
Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice. Okay. So this solution works. Okay. Any other solution you can think of? More simpler one which can be done using the inbuilt functions of Python, like
I could sort this and just take the first two elements and add them.
elements.
Like,
Yeah. Perfect. Fine. Yeah. And okay. Okay.
like
I think yeah, this is a good solution. Yeah. And then of course you can use the the sorting solution as well. Okay. You can sort in whichever order you want and then take either the first two elements or the last two elements per the requirement. Yeah.
So,
Okay,
from
fine. It's, mhm.
what should do it?
Yep, you're taking the sum of the last two elements of the array after sorting it out.
No, this is the
Okay.
sum of the first two elements. This is how slicing works in Python. So everything
Yeah,
from the
yeah, of course.
starting till the third element, not including the third element. This is what this thing means in Python.
So the sort array that you have written will sort your array in the ascending order or the descending order?
By default, it's ascending order. If you want to specify descending, you will have to specify it like that, DSA.
Here we'll have to do it, yeah, because we want to find out the maximum two elements sum. So yeah, we'll have to sort it in descending order and then sum up the first two elements.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is done. Okay. So let's quickly just cover one more question, which is more related to PySpark. Are you good with PySpark? Like, do you use PySpark in your work?
We use mostly scalar Spark.
Okay, no worries. Then I think a scalar Spark solution would also work for me. So just imagine, I'm just pasting the question in the document. So this is this question. You can either do it with Scala Spark or PySpark, whichever. Okay. So you have multiple files which are lying there in a storage location. The storage location could either be ADLS or it could be your S3. And you have multiple files. These are just two files that I've put here for sample, but you can have n number of files. Like there could be something like, Haryana.csv. Then there could be Kerala.csv and so on and so forth. There could be multiple files coming in here. Okay. And all these files have the same column structure. The columns are first name, last name, age, sex, and location. In each file, so now this data it is there in the form of CSVs, but now you have to put it in form of a table. Okay. And in that table, you should have all these columns, these 5 columns, plus one additional column, which is the state column, in which you will put the state which is coming from the file name itself. So yeah, can you try to attempt this one?
Okay, let me go ahead and create my main function. Object state function extends app. So ideally, I should have written my main class, but if I use this trait app, it will allow me to use everything whatever I write in my main function.
Okay.
Most importantly, first I'll create my Spark session. And
Yeah.
ideally, I would do this on an ID. So there are a bunch of imports also that I have to do.
Okay,
So,
yeah. Consider that imports are done. The session is already created. So yeah.
okay.
Even the session creation, yeah, you can skip that part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Session is being created. Now I will write my read API first. So Spark, since this is a CSV file, I can just specify Spark read dot format is CSV. So I am basically interested in modularizing this read part. I don't want to create 5 different data frames and write the function for it. I'm just writing one function and I'll call it 5 times. Or if I know the folder where all of these files are stored, I will just take that location, list all the files, and use it up. So that's my criteria.
Okay. So the steps you're saying that one would be listing all the files, yes, which are there in the particular directory. And then you get all the file names from there, and then you will read all the files in one data frame.
Yes. My file
Okay.
is something like first name, last name, age, sex, and location, right? So I'm hoping it's stored something like this. This is my header. Hence, I'm specifying that header is true. Then
Okay.
I will create the schema for this particular data type as well.
You can just say that this you can use infer schema is equal to true for now, so that we can skip the schema creation part as well. I know this is not a good method to do infer schema is equal to true, but let's just in interest of time, let's just do that.
And most importantly, I will have to supply my path.
Right, file path.
So I already have the base location, right? Base location is, let's say, something.
Consider it to be a folder location where all these files are kept. Just you can write the word slash folder.
Now, yeah, so this is my read API. Now, I'll just
Read
call
function.
this read API on the function. I'm just thinking about what I should do about listing the folders. If there were, let's say, just one or two files and I already know what these files are, I would have simply just called this function right away, read API.
So assume that you have listed all the file names in like can't you use something which can list, like as you mentioned initially as well, that you will list the files in, you can just prepare a list, right? Just list down all the files in that folder and put it into a list, and then over the list you can iterate your read API.
Okay. Ideally, what I would do is the way we do in shell script, right? There is a way in Scala also that you can write your Linux functions. I'm forgetting it right now, but I have done it a long time back. Uh, so I would be using that. I think it's the OS module.
Yes,
I'm,
that's
I'm
correct.
sure in Python it's the OS module. In Scala, I'm not sure. It's been a long time since I've done it. Or I in, let's say, this is my list, right? Like that. Um, Let me assign this initially with something. Let's say it's just null. This is my variable. And now on top of this, I will call the width column, which is extensively used to add a new column in your data frame.
Okay. Okay.
And the name of my column is, let's say, state. And
Okay.
it is a constant value I'm putting, right? So I will call the literal function. You will have to do one import over here for
Yes. Yes.
lit.
Yes. 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 Correct. Correct.
SQL functions. You have to do that. And what is the value that I'm interested in? It's basically I. Okay, over here for I in, yeah, so this does my task. That's it, right? I just had to add one new column. You're speaking on mute, Shruti.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, I was just saying that while you would be yeah. I was just saying that while you would be doing that OS function, that os.list directory files, where you would be listing all the files you will get in the list .csv also, like Karnataka.csv, Maharashtra.csv, Haryana.csv, right? So while you're using this lit function, you would also have to split up the values before putting it into the state column, right?
Got it. So let's say it came up like that. I cannot just directly pass the I split. So when I call the split function, it will split up Haryana and CSV into an array. So it's like Haryana, comma CSV, and I'm interested in the 0th index. So this is what I do.
Yeah, this is correct. This is correct. You split it and you take the first value. Yes. Now you have to just write another line of code which will write it into a table.
You mean like we have to save it somewhere, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like either you can save it back to the ADLS location, to some other location into ADLS, or into S3 from wherever, whichever cloud or whichever HDFS location you're trying to read it from. You can just try to save this back, like this new data frame that now you've created. You can just try to save it back.
Okay. So I will just write it as a CSV file. I hope that's all right.
Yeah, if you want, you can write it back as a CSV.
And I'll specify where I want to write it.
Yep. I think we can move this out of the loop also. Otherwise, it will create those files multiple times. We wanted a single file with with all the locations. So yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think
But if I put it outside, right, it will just store the last one. Basically, the table which has Haryana's data.
I think
I
then
don't want.
we need to use something so that it appends to the same, because I want only a single file in the output, not
Oh,
multiple files output.
okay. Yeah, I can do something like some
Okay.
appending. Let's say I have this. This is a data frame. Let's say I have a read API where I'll keep performing a join operation.
Uh, join. Oh, okay.
No, join will not work. Sorry.
I think you meant union operation.
Yes, that will help.
Yeah.
Yeah, so union of this particular file's data, and at the end of the day, I will just write it to the same location. Let's say final data.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think, yep. Yep. So yeah, in this question, the main approach was the main thing was first of all listing out the files and then doing a split operation to get the name of the state and then adding a new column and putting it over there. So yep, I think solution taken. Yeah. So right. Let's just discuss one more little thing over here. You talked about a streaming project, and would you like to tell us what are the sources that you are using? From where are you getting that streaming data and then putting it into your edge base?
So basically, all of the data we are storing it in Kafka first. I mean, this from the source system, it is coming to Kafka first, and we are reading it on a daily basis. The application runs for 24 hours, and it's like that. Kafka is only used for
Okay.
buffering. The actual processing is happening in Spark.
Okay. So you're doing your processing using Spark streaming, and the data is coming to you through Kafka. And then you're storing it to HBase. Is that thing correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay. So what are the situations that you're faced? For example, Kafka was having some data, but your Spark streaming pipeline did not run somehow. So is the data in the Kafka lost, or you still have it in the Kafka somewhere stored, and unless and until your system reads it correctly, it will not go away. So how is that buffering system getting maintained in your?
There is a period for which we can retain the data. It's 7 days right now. It's configurable. At the time of deploying the entire system, at the time of
Mhm.
deploying the pipeline, rather, I should say, uh, we do this setup.
Okay, you do the setup. And what transformations do you use when for example, you got some data into Kafka and then now you're bringing it to you're bringing it to Spark and then moving it to HBase. So is there a transformation or some steps that you follow in between when you are moving the data to HBase from your Kafka connector?
The most important thing is we are performing explode operations on some of the columns. Uh, so the data that we are getting is in array format. We want to convert it into row wise. So over there we are using the explode function.
Okay. Okay. Great. Great. And in how much interval are you fetching the data from your Kafka connector? Like after every 10 seconds, after every minute, after every half an hour, or like how's the frequency?
I've really never bothered asking that question, but there is something called how many transactions on an average you get per second. I mean, again, it's average. Let's say on Saturday and Sundays, it will obviously be very less. It's 500 something.
Okay. Okay. And after storing your data into HBase, who is the team who is consuming that data? Is there a team, specific team who is consuming that data? Are those data engineers, data scientists, data analysts? Who is consuming that data which is there in HBase?
They are, I mean, there are a number of people, but mostly it's the analyst team and some amount of people from the SRE team are also there.
Okay. 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 Then I think, yeah, this was pretty much I wanted to ask about the streaming as well. Okay, Apurva, then I think you fairly did the questions well. You were able to explain the approaches that you had towards all the questions. So I think that was great. And yep, yeah, all the best for the next one.
Thank you.